Obviously a great win for our guys, and I think the biggest reason is not just the fact that we beat Ole Miss, it's the fact that we dealt with some adversity and found a way to win the basketball game. It's not very many times that you win a ball game where I think we were 4-21 from the three-point line, shot 37% from the field, and still found a way to win. And the reason why we found a way to win, we continued to attack. I think we got to the free throw line 42 times. And then on top of that, we had a great assist-to-turnover ratio. I think we only turned the ball over 9 times. I think we had 17 assists. So, and individually, Fred Thomas goes 1 of 7, I think, from the three-point line, but he continued to defend. They've got Jarvis Summers has turned himself into a really good basketball player. I said this earlier, but he's probably the most improved player in the SEC. Him or Casey Prater with Florida, I say it's up for debate. But I was really pleased with that. And the one thing I want to make sure that I acknowledge is I thought our crowd was tremendous. I've always heard about how great of an environment the Hump is, but I had yet to see that. And this is the first time I came out and I thought the crowd was phenomenal. Our students are not even back in school, and the student section was pretty full, but not just the students. It was the regular fans, it was the community and the alumni, and they don't understand how important that is to our team. So I just want to make sure I recognize that fact as well, too.
Rick, early on, your guys seem to be settling against that zone for a few jump shots, but did you just sit the first time out and say, attack, attack?
Yeah, and what we wanted to do was we wanted to attack in transition. I thought we could get some opportunities after watching tape in transition and not worry about setting up against that zone. I think a lot of times our guys get locked into like, oh, we got to play against the zone, let's walk it up and let's shoot threes. Whereas like we wanted to, I think a lot of times we just kicked the ball up ahead to Fred and the Chicken, and those guys just attacked the zone before they even got set. So I thought they did a good job there. And I thought that they hit some tough shots to start off the game. I thought Millinghouse hit 2 contested jump shots, and I said, hey, that's what we want. We want contested shots. And so if he continues to make those, then we'll probably lose the ball game. But, you know, he ended up being 3 of 10. I think he hit 2 in the first, couple minutes. So, but to answer your question, yes, I thought we settled for 3, especially the beginning of the second half. We just shot 3 after 3, and I just gave them a chart. I said, these are our shots outside the three-point line, and here are their shots inside the three-point line in the paint.
Rick, Jarvis Summers hits that 3 to tie it, and you rolled Fred back into the game. Did you feel like his length and athleticism kind of bothered him in those last 2 sets they ran for him?
Yeah, I really think so. I think that Trevante, is a good defender, but Trevante is a good defender on a guy similar to his size. I think Fred's length, really bothers people. And Fred has really become our best perimeter defender when you're talking about wings. I think he does a much better job than Chicken because Chicken tends to gamble, whereas Fred is a little bit more solid, and he affects people on the shot because of his length. But that last 3 there by Jarvis, Trevante just didn't chase him off the screen. He's got to understand that they're going to run something for Jarvis Summers. I told him that, and he still got screened.
Craig had a crazy stat line. Have you ever seen a game quite like that? Just the way he played.
I haven't seen a lot of things with this team. It was the first for things. I think he was 15 to 18 from the free throw line and didn't have a field goal. And so he's a guy who attacks the basket. But now, he's starting to make free throws. I think he was 9 to 10 against Kentucky. Now he's 15 to 18. And the way he attacks the basket is really important, and he makes his free throws.
Rick, you talked yesterday about IJ maybe trying to blend in a little bit. You talked today how he rallied the guys in the huddle and told them to play defense. What did you see from him today and his growth today?
Well, I still like to see him be a little bit more aggressive, but I thought he did a good job of being aggressive as far as pushing the basketball. He didn't always end up looking for his own offense. He did a great job. Fred was wide open in the corner on threes because IJ was attacking the rim and transition a lot. So I like for him to start maybe looking for that finish. And he's a small guy, and he gets swallowed up in there at times. But I think he has some opportunities to get to the rim and he doesn't take advantage of. But I just think that IJ has some natural leadership qualities. And the most important thing is he just wants to win.
Raquez, is he sort of your hardest guy to game plan for? Because he doesn't really... you don't run plays for him, and he just ends up with 20 points. What's he like to have on your team?
He's not hard to game plan for. Keep him off the glass and don't let him drive right.
But he still scores 20.
I know. But it's you could hear Andy that last play we ran, and Saez was on him and said he's driving right, and Quez drove right. But he's a tough kid. He's kind of like, he's not as, don't get this wrong, he's like Allen Iverson is hard to guard because he's kind of like guys always sneaking in the cracks and like has a light body and can get into the cracks and doesn't like, he never gets hurt, it seems like. He always falls and takes a pound and he gets back up and he keeps playing. So I just think he's a hard matchup because most guys are playing traditional power forwards. And he's not a traditional power forward because he has the ability to get by with his quickness and his athletic ability.
Whether it was zone or man, taking them off the dribble the whole game, is that an advantage you thought you guys had coming into this thing?
No, I don't think it's an advantage. I think that's the only way we can have a chance to compete against teams. I mean, because we don't make shots. So it's not something that we try to do specifically against Ole Miss. It's just like what we have to do because we're not a good shooting team. And we do have some guys that are pretty good off the bounce. So if we like just settle for threes and settle for jump shots, we're not going to be successful. We got to continue to attack the basket. And we do have, like Chicken is special attacking the basket. And so we got to continue to use that. We got to. Trevante has gotten so much better at attacking the basket. Rockwez can attack the basket. So we have to find a way to generate offense. And if you can't make shots, then that's the way you generate offense.
They went on a 6-0 run to, I think, go up 5. What was different this time around than, say, against Kentucky, where you guys couldn't kind of bounce back a little bit?
Well, you know, the thing that's always hard and kind of gets lost here is we still only have 8 scholarship players. And so, you know, it's like, where do you turn to? There's nowhere to turn to. It's still those same 8 guys. And I felt that both Tyson Cunningham and Tevin came in and did a good job as far as like subbing in. So it's just guys finding a way and finding a will to win, what it boils down to.
Was it another first for you to be coaching a team that had 30 more free throw attempts, and then the fact that you guys hit a lot of those free throws, played big dividends for you?
We've gotten to the free throw line pretty consistently. There's a little bit of disparity there, but it's also the fact that we attack the rim, and so just making them is huge. And what the problem is, the guys that get to the rim for us, Rockwez, Chicken, and Gavin, are the guys who are our worst free throw shooters. That's the problem.
Rick, you say you're having trouble making shots, but it seems like in the first half of these SEC games, Colin has kind of been that stretch forward to make a couple shots and open up those lanes for your guards, your Fred, your Chicken, and everybody else, Rockwez.
Yeah, and he has the ability to make those shots. The difference between like Colin making shots and missing shots is the shot selection. It's that simple. I think when he takes quality shots, he has a great chance of making those. When he doesn't take quality shots, he's not going to make them. Like, I showed him tape, he shot a couple where it hit the backboard and didn't have a chance to go in. I said, it's a bad shot because look at the result. But if you take open shots, you have a chance to make those.
You enjoy this one for about, 24 hours, and then you go on the road. Is it Alabama Wednesday night where you guys go on the road?
I have no idea who we're playing next.
Yeah.
It won't even be 24 hours that we get a chance to enjoy it. You know, it's not enough downtime, so I'll watch our game tonight and break that down, and we'll show our guys in film on Monday before practice, and then after I watch us, I'll start watching our next opponent, which I don't know who it is. So,
Talking about Johnson being a tough guy, he took a couple of probably not shots you would like there in early game. You sat him down, but he came back and took shots that you probably wanted to take.
yeah. And Rockwez, he's at some point in time, I don't ever want him to not take shots. I just don't want those guys to take shots early in the shot clock. You know, when we grind them out a little bit and then you get an opportunity to take that shot, by all means take that shot, but there's no reason to be taking a shot like that when there's 28 seconds on the shot clock, 30 seconds on the shot clock, if you're not a guy who's proven that he can make those shots.
What's the run status on the team?
You know, it's funny. Like, I come in here to meet with the team and talk to them, you know, like we normally do, and Bear's sitting down and stuff. So I don't know the status. I just know that he was there. We had no communication. I haven't talked to Dan. I just walk in there, and there's a guy with dreads sitting down and doing a warm-up. So I don't know.
So talk about Quiz and Craig again. I mean, coincidence those guys are from Montgomery, Alabama, but they're two of the toughest guys in the team. Just talk about what they made your team.
Well, they call it the Gump, and in order to make it out of the Gump, you got to be a pretty tough kid. So, you know, I think they're more so a product of their environment.
This is the second year in a row where you guys beat Ole Miss. The players jump in the crowd and start celebrating. Is it better to have this win at the beginning of the season compared to last year where it's at the end of the year, or is it the other way around, you feel like?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's good to get a win, no matter what the circumstances or situation is. So, I mean, it depends. Like, if we have this win and we go on and we have some success, then maybe it's better to have a win earlier. But I know it was huge for us last year because we hadn't won a game in 14 games, and it really made our guys feel positive about ourselves. So it gave us a chance to beat Auburn. It gave us a chance to go in and get a tournament win against South Carolina. If we don't beat Ole Miss, then we'll probably just like give in and end the season without any more wins.
Did you say anything particular when you saw De'Runnya sitting in the locker room and a new face, I guess, in the did he sit on the bench too in the game? I
I
believe.
don't know if he was on the bench or
Okay.
not. I really don't know.
I knew he was in warm-up.
Yeah. I walked in and he was there, and I said, "Hey, Bear." That was really about the extent of it.
Hey, Rick, you talked about Rockwez, but was there some acknowledgement to the scouting report a little bit? It seemed like he noticed, hey, I've got freshmen and sophomores on me. Get me the ball. I don't think they can guard me.
Oh, I don't know if Rockwez is thinking that much.
That's all.
I think Rockwez is like, get the ball.
I was hoping he might notice who was guarding me.
Yeah, no, get the ball, drive it.
Okay.